welcome to my channel. My name is Kristen and I'm the maker behind Yarn Theory. Today we are reviewing how to make the Jasmine stitch in the round. If you're unfamiliar with the Jasmine stitch, I highly suggest that you watch the Stitches 101 video that's on my channel. It's linked in the description box below. Once you've watched that, you'll be able to follow along with this tutorial with ease. Today I'm working with a worsted weight cotton yarn and I'll be using a 4.5mm hook. I'd also like to point out that for each round, I'll be displaying a crochet symbol chart to help you easily understand the placement of each stitch. So I started off here with a magic circle, and if that's not your preference, you can make a slip knot and then chain 2. And then we'll start off the round with a anchor puff or just a single puff. And you'll be making an anchor puff at the beginning of each round. Once you've completed your anchor puff, we'll now begin to work in the circle, and we'll do that by making a series of 2 puff clusters. So you'll make the first puff at the top of your anchor puff, and then the second puff will be made into the center of your magic circle. Once you've finished your first 2 puff cluster, you will continue around making 3 more 2 puff clusters. So I'm going to speed through this part and then come back once I've completed my final 2 puff cluster. And so here we have our anchor puff, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 puff clusters. To close off round 1, we will be making a 3 puff cluster, and you'll insert your hook into the spaces indicated on the screen. While I'm working on this final cluster, I'd like to ask you all a question. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever worked with a crochet symbol chart before. And if you did, how did you like it? Did you find it to be helpful or not so much? I like to use crochet symbol charts, especially when working with stitches like the Jasmine stitch, because it can be a little confusing about stitch placement. So definitely let me know in the comments below if you found the symbol charts helpful with today's tutorial. Once you've completed your 3 puff cluster, you can pull the tail that was from the beginning to cinch that middle circle closed, and then you're all done with round 1. So we've made it to round 2, and I want you to flip your work as we're going to work back in the other direction. So once again, you need to start your round off with an anchor puff. And then we're going to do a combination of 2 puff clusters and 3 puff clusters. And so I'm first starting off with a 2 puff cluster, inserting my hook in the spaces indicated on the screen. So now work a 3 puff cluster in the spaces indicated. Here's our anchor puff, our 2 puff cluster, and our 3 puff cluster. We're going to repeat the 2 puff cluster and the 3 puff cluster 4 more times for a total of 5. And then I'm going to speed through that part and then come back to show you how to close off round 2. So I'm just showing you the stitches that I worked. And you can see that I'm alternating between the 2 and the 3 puff clusters. And so to close off the round, we're going to work 2 puff clusters. The first one will be worked as normal. And then the second one's going to be a little different, and that is so that we can join the first and the last stitch from the round together to close off the round. And so we're going to insert the hook here, and then also here. So once you finish gathering the loops for your second puff, remember we're only making a 2 puff cluster, and so you're just inserting your hook into that third space, yarning over, and then holding the yarn as you pull your hook through all of the loops on your hook. Then you'll put that loop you were holding onto your hook. You'll have 2 loops on your hook. You'll yarn over and pull through 2, and then chain 1, and then you've completed the round. And so it looks the same on both sides. And then flip your work to begin round 3. So for round 3, we are continuing to work with alternating 2 puff and 3 puff clusters. Once again, you'll start the round with a anchor puff. And now work a 2 puff cluster. You'll follow the 2 puff cluster with 2 3 puff clusters. And so I hope you're starting to notice the pattern here. It's very similar to how we would work circles and increases with our basic crochet stitches, so our single crochet stitch or our double crochet stitch. For today's tutorial, I'm only working 3 rounds, but if you wanted to make a bigger circle, for round 4, you would work a 2 puff cluster followed by 3 puff clusters. For round 5, you would work a 2 puff cluster followed by 4 3 puff clusters, and so on. I hope that you're catching the rhythm of the pattern, and if you're finding that you're having trouble, you can always draw out the symbols on some paper or utilize online websites such as Stitch Fiddle to create your symbol charts that way. They're very helpful and will make this a lot easier. So we have our anchor puff, 2 puff cluster, and our 2 3 puff clusters. So we're going to repeat the 2 and 3 puff clusters all the way around, followed by a single 2 puff cluster and a 3 puff cluster, and then I'm going to come back and show you how to close the round. To finish off round 3, we will be making a 2 puff cluster and connecting it to the beginning of the round, and then you're all done. And that concludes today's tutorial. I hope that you found this helpful and that it made working the Jasmine stitch in the round a little bit easier. If you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share. And as always, thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!